This is big. It's a big moment in history. UFC 317, International Fight Week. Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. This is big. This is huge. I'm not taking this shirt off until Saturday. I'm going to work in this shirt. I'm sleeping in this shirt. I'm bathing in this shirt. I'm going to give you my full picks and predictions for every fight on the card. Feel free to let me know who y'all got down below in the comments. Get on down in the comments. I love when y'all get in the comments. I love when y'all tell me I'm wrong. I love when y'all tell me I'm right. I love when y'all tell me you agree and you have to. I love it all. Get in those comments. Let's have a discussion. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this to somebody. I know they enjoy just like you did. Let's get into it. We got 12 fights on the card so far. Starting off with SD Dumas versus Jackson McVey. Y'all already know how I feel about SD Dumas. Listen. Listen, I hope I never see this guy in the street, right? If you know, you know. Dude, I'm going to keep it a bug. I just don't think this guy's a good fighter. I just don't think he's good anywhere. I think he made it here off being a street fighter type of guy, and I don't think he's good anywhere. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's a good wrestler. I don't think he's a good striker. I think he's slow. I don't like his footwork. I don't like his pacing. I don't think he has good cardio. And listen, I'm picking Jackson McVey. I watched some tape on Jackson McVey, and there's at least something in his game. Yeah, he's fighting nobodies, but there's something in his game that I see, okay, he's good there. He has good kicks to the body. He has an okay jab, but he thrives in that clinch. He has really, really good neck attacks, and he likes to beat the fuck out of guys in the clinch. High collar, knees to the body, elbows. He likes to beat the shit out of guys in the clinch and wear on them. And when I look at SD Dumas, he's a guy who tries to force wrestling sometimes, kind of stalls. He won't be able to stall against Jackson McVey against the fist because Jackson McVey is always attacking in that clinch. He's always attacking your neck. He has really good darces, really good guillotines, standing guillotines. Dude, I'm picking Jackson McVey. I think these guys are on the same level of fighter. I'm being honest. And that's sad to say. He only has 6 fights under his belt, never fought in a major promotion, and I'm willing to say that. I'm picking Jackson McVey. Is it confident? No. But I just don't think S. Dumas is... He doesn't even look comfortable when he's in there. He's a guy that you can completely impose your will against and break. So I'm picking Jackson McVey. Moving on, we got Jonathan Diniz versus Alvin Hines, and I think this is clear for me. I mean, Alvin Hines is a fun fighter. He made it be known. He's coming out there to entertain. He said that in his interview. He took the fight on short notice. He's taking his moment. He's not a young guy. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. He's here to entertain. And on one end, I respect that, but he does a little silly shit. Now, this is from his first fight, his first professional fight. But I kind of see the same fighter with just more confidence because it's working. So he doesn't see any reason to change what he's doing. But look at this. Now, this can work at some level of heavyweight, but he comes out bad out of hell. This is the first round in his first fight against Philip Latu. Let's go ahead and mute that. Comes out like a bat in hell. Now, that can fuck some guys up at heavyweight, right? He doesn't have a lot of power in his hands. I'm just going to put that out there. He's 6'1", so he's going to be smaller than Diniz. He's a clinch fighter. He likes to get in the clinch. He likes to wear people down, try to get on top, right? He can be reversed when he's on top. I've seen him in mount get reversed. I've seen him in some tricky situations, right? But he tries to come across like a bat out of hell, get in the clinch, and wear on guys. But shit right there. Like, Diniz is a he is a high-level striker, especially for the heavyweight division. He hurts people. He tags people. Former kickboxer. Dude, you just come in the clinch, head down like this. Elbow, elbow. Whoa. I think he's going to try to come out across the cage and pose his will. He's going to get hit with some shit, and it's like, okay, wow. This is the UFC. I think he's going to get a welcome to the UFC moment. Here's another clip that I just don't like. He was on top. He was in mount. Not only does Latu get up, but now he has his back. Alvin reverses it. Latu's tired. But look how Alvin look where his hands are. This is a KO, guys. I'm being honest. This is a KO. If he fights like this against Jonathan Diniz, which I think he will, this is a KO. Guys, this is a KO. It's a little silly shit. I mean, he's here to have fun. He's here to entertain. He's not dog shit, but like, he's too hittable against a guy who hits guys and puts them away. I'm picking Jonathan Diniz. Now we got Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. I don't think I have to spend too much time on this one. Nico Price is getting fed to the wolves. This will be a first round finish, probably ground and pound or TKO. Do we really have to? They're feeding Nico Price to the wolves here. Yeah, Jacoby, really good wrestling, really good power in his hands. People are acting like he's going to be top 5 and he's going to be the next champion. I would pump the brakes. Because welterweight is a really, really good fucking division. But as far as just raw talent and skills, he has it all. And Nico Price, I mean, come on. This is a strategic matchup to get Jacoby Smith on an International Fight Week card. To get him that big pop. Sort of like what they did with Peyton Talbott against Gamori. whoever it was, where he knocked him out in the first round, one punch. This is very, very similar to that. Speaking of Peyton Talbott, we're going to get to him later. UFC ain't doing him no favors, but let's get into a sneaky fight. Jose Delgado versus Hyder Emal. This is a tough one because Hyder Amil, he went against William Gomez, right? And I picked William Gomez. I think he would move. I thought Hyder coming forward and just being kind of reckless, ball to the wall, just going forward, not giving a fuck, will get him clipped. And I thought William would just ultimately outstrike him. William gassed in that fight. But it was very, very close, very, very high pace. That's what Hyder does to people, right? Jose Delgado has significantly much power than William Gomez. And if you're getting hit with your chin in the air coming across the void like Hyder does, Jose can really, really hurt you. Like, this isn't William Gomez as far as the power. I like Jose Delgado. Hyder Amil likes to come across the void, get in your face, push you against the fence, bomb away, shoot takedowns. That's his style. Kind of like Ricky Simon at home. Dollar Tree Marab, right? That's what he wants to do. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't give a fuck. Very, very durable. Comes across, bombing away, trying to get takedowns. Jose Delgado, he can be taken down, but he's a good wrestler. He's a good scrambler. He can secure his own takedowns. I think Jose Delgado can wrestle the wrestler. And a part of this is Hyder Amil. He killed one of my parlays. I had William Gomez in it. And I really like Jose Delgado. I like how well-rounded he is. I like the fact that he can find submissions. I like the fact that he can knock anybody out. Not knock anybody out, but he can find shots on the feet. I think if there's a finish, it's Jose Delgado securing it, right? But I think this goes all three with Hyder Amil pushing Delgado against the fence, getting hit, but landing his own, trying to shoot takedowns, trying to make it ugly. And in a fight like that, it's kind of hard to pick against Hyder. It's really, really hard to pick against Hyder. But Jose, I think he's going to be landing the more quality shots, right? William Gomez was able to keep up sort of with the strikes against Hyder Amil, but they weren't more significant, right? So it came down to the octagon control. It came down to the clinch, the wrestling, the pressure. I think Jose Delgado can keep up with the strikes coming from Hyder Amil and have more significant ones. So it's really, really tough. I'm really, really torn, and I'm a Jose Delgado fan, but the durability from Hyder just can't go overlooked. So I am going to pick the slight underdog. I'm going to pick Hyder Amil by decision. Very, very close, razor close. Next one's a tough one for me because there's clearly a level that Terrence runs through, and there's a level that he just can't fuck with. You know, he lost to Ismail Bonfim's, Nazim Sadakov's, Esteban Ribovic. Those guys are dogs, right? But he beats all the other guys, you know? And Vyacheslav Borshchev, he's kind of in the middle. He's kind of in the middle of, he's not Esteban Ribovic. It's not Ismail Bonfim. He's nowhere near Nazim Sadakov. They probably finished Vyacheslav. But he's better than the guys T-Rex is beating. So this is a very, very tough one for me. Vyacheslav is very technical, you know, can land. He's slowing down nowadays, but I think we overrate his lack of durability. I don't think he's just super, super chinny. Sure, he's slowing down, but I think we just overrate the fact that, oh my gosh, you can't trust his chin. Now, Terrence McKinney is a guy. In that first round, he's the greatest fighter of all time. We've been over this. We know Terrence McKinney. He's the greatest fighter of all time in the first 2 minutes. And Vyacheslav Borshchev is the guy that T-Rex can come forward, kind of break, and just run through real early before Vyacheslav can warm up into the fight. Terrence can wrestle. Terrence can strike. He has big power. And if things get tricky, I think he can level change, get that wrestling going. I am going to pick Terrence McKinney. I'm never confident when I pick a Terrence McKinney fight. Never, ever, and I never will be. But I think Terrence McKinney can come out here. And I know I just said that Vyacheslav Borshchev is more durable than we'll be giving him credit for. I think he can come out here and finish him in the first round. Just not let him warm up into the fight. Catch him early. Catch him fresh. Run through him. I'm picking T-Rex, Terrence McKinney. Moving on, we got RoboCop versus Jack Hermansson. I'm going to be picking Jack Hermansson. Now, it's all about how RoboCop rebounds, you know. Does he learn from his Jerry Cannonier fight and say, okay, I can't blow my load here, pause? I think not, because it's a 3-round fight. So he doesn't give a fuck. Now, RoboCop is a guy who can come out there, hurt anybody, finish anybody. Dude has the wrestling, he has the jiu-jitsu, he has the striking, he has the power. But I like Jack Hermansson. Crafty. Very, very crafty. Sneaky technical on the feet. Kind of got the Jan Blachowicz strike. Damn, how is he that good? Damn, how did he just touch me with that? And then his level changes. Well-timed level changes. Very durable. He got KO'd, TKO'd by Roman Dolidze, but that was just really, really weird. I don't even know what you call that position. But Roman Dolidze basically had a leg trapped. He was on Jack Hermansson's back. He literally couldn't move if he wanted to. He got TKO'd in that way. He couldn't defend himself. I mean, we've seen this guy take big shots from Joe Pyfer and live to tell the story. I think he can do more of the same against Gregory RoboCop. And I think as the fight goes on, he can build into this fight. Level change, take the win out of RoboCop's cells. You make him work early. His build, all that muscle, you make him work early, he's going to fade. And that power threat, it's not what it is. Once he has to work, once he starts to fade, that power is not what it is. That explosiveness is not what it is. He's very slow. His feet are slow. You could touch this guy up. I'm going to be picking Jack Hermansson. He's the underdog. Interesting. I'm picking Jack Hermansson by decision. Picking Jack Hermansson. Moving on to the main card. We got Tracy Cortez versus VV. Listen, I'm going to be picking Tracy Cortez. She took a tough loss in her last fight against Thug Rose. She just got outclassed, outstruck. But Cortez, and it made Cortez look like she has no boxing. But she does have some boxing. I think her boxing is better than VV's. I think she's going to be able to use that boxing to set up the level change. I think it's going to be a relatively competitive fight. But I think Tracy dogs this shit out. I think she got more of that dog in her. I think she dogs that shit out. She's on an upward trajectory. While VV, let's be honest, her best days are behind her, and she's on the downslide. I'm rocking with Tracy Cortez. Peyton Talbott, your time has come. There's no way out of this one. Listen, Felipe Lima, Jungle Boy, is probably one of my favorite prospects coming up. He's most definitely my favorite 135 prospect. When I look at my favorite prospects per weight class, got Felipe Lima at 35. You got Kevin Vallejos at 45. Esteban Ribovic is my dude at 155. I know he just lost to Nasrat. I gave him 2 and 3, but it's all good. It was a close fight. But Felipe Lima is a fucking dog. He is a complete fighter. And I do mean a complete fighter. Back down at bantamweight. He was at featherweight for his first 2 fights in the UFC. Came in on short notice. Beats Muhammad Naimov. Submits him in the 3rd round. Breaks him in the 3rd round. On 4 days notice. 5 days notice. Then comes in against Miles Johns. Beats Miles Johns. That's a good win. Peyton Talbott doesn't have one win that can muster up to those 2 wins. All of his wins combined can't muster up to one of those wins. And what do you know about Peyton Talbott? There's a wrestling hole. It was there in the regionals. He was giving him some softball matchups in the UFC. I'm not upset at it. I think he should be. Just because you see a guy's talented, that doesn't mean feed him to the wolves. He's still young, just like the rest of the prospects. Let him build. He's 26 years old. Felipe's 27 years old. He's a complete fighter. Dynamic on the feet, world class on the ground in the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu. I think he's going to work Peyton Talbott. I think he's going to break Peyton Talbott. I'm not off of Peyton Talbot. Just because I'm picking against him doesn't mean I'm off of Peyton Talbot. I think Peyton Talbot still has a bright future. But right now, the UFC isn't doing him any favors. And it looks like they're kind of trying to give Felipe the hype off of Peyton Talbot's name. So it's going to be interesting. Peyton Talbot is still a guy. If he lands clean with a good shot, he can hurt you. He's flashy. But we put him on the back foot, and his hands are down. And you're making him pay for having his hands down. And now you're taking him down. You're taking a win out of his cells. And now he looks like in there he's not very urgent to get back up. He looks like he's just going with the flow. Felipe is not the guy you want to go with the flow with because he's going to dictate everywhere where this fight goes. I like Felipe Lima. I'm confident in Felipe Lima. He's one of my favorite prospects, like I said. I'm picking Felipe Lima by submission. I think he's going to submit Peyton Talbot in the 2nd round. I think this card gets too much hate, man. The name value isn't crazy, and we know, and the hardcores know, like, the fights on here is like, okay, this is going to be fun when it gets around. I think on Fight Night we'll enjoy it, but I understand the name value isn't great, but this card gets too much hate. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Dare I say I'm more excited to see this one than I am Manel Cap. Manel Cap, all he does is foul in every fight, win because of foul, gets finishes because of fouls, and he pulls out of fights. The most meaningful fights of his career, he's going to pull out. Joshua Van's a guy, the fearless Joshua Van. He's a guy who's hungry. He's a guy that's willing to do something. And I think him and Brandon Royval match up well. Very similar styles. Cardio maxers. They do not get tired. They go, 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 go. Brandon Royval likes to do his work outside. Pitter patter. Pop, 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 pop. Outside. Joshua Van likes to walk you down, get in the pocket. Now, Brandon Royval's movement, I think, could give Joshua Van some problems. Brandon Royval moves a lot. He doesn't stand in one spot. It's not going to be easy for Joshua Van to walk him down. He's going to have to cut the cage off because Brandon Royval's circling, pop, 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 circling. Brandon Royval can wrestle, but I think Joshua Van, I don't think he's going to be able to take Joshua Van down unless it's in the middle of an exchange and he changes levels on him. Because Joshua Van has brick wall takedown defense, some of the best takedown defense in the division. And Joshua Van, I just love his boxing, man. The highest volume, the highest strike per minute landed in the UFC. Over 8 strikes landed per minute. Beautiful body work, combinations, punches and bunches. I don't think Brandon Royval has that power. I think the person who beats Joshua Van is a guy who can withstand the volume, isn't going to get tired, and has power to make Joshua Van pay. Because we've seen Joshua Van hurt before. I don't think Brandon Royval has the power to make Joshua Van pay and hurt Joshua Van. Now, I don't think Joshua Van has the power to hurt Brandon Royval. I think we're in for a 15-minute back-and-forth fun fight. Joshua Van trying to do his work on the inside while Brandon Royval's outside trying to keep range. Pap, 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 pap. But I'm going to pick the guy that's going forward. I'm going to pick the guy who's going to be matching the volume, maybe even out-voluming Brandon Royval, which is something we never see. I'm going to be picking Joshua Van. And I love Raw Dog. I was completely prepared to come on here, pick Raw Dog to beat Manel Cap, and talk about how crazy you are for having him at plus 240. But I won't be able to do that. And maybe I'll get that chance again. So I love Raw Dog. I think if Pantoja isn't the champion, Raw Dog is the champion. But I think he matches up well for Joshua Van. A guy who doesn't have a lot of power coming back. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of volume, but Joshua Van, he'll stand there and trade. I think Joshua Van might have the more power in this fight. Both guys, but Brandon Royval is just so fucking tough. He's so fucking tough. He's hard to hurt. But Joshua Van works the body so well. Combinations so well. He's kicking now. He's a complete package, and he's getting better from fight to fight. And he was able to stand in there with Bruno Silva and take some of Bruno Silva's shots and not even get phased. That's dangerous. I am picking Joshua Van to beat Brandon Royval. Dariush versus Money Moicano. This was tough. I think this is going to be a striking match. We could see some fun scrambles like Benny had against Mateus Gamrot, but I think this is going to be a striking match. I think it's going to be Renato Moicano stay in that range. Renato Moicano's striking is getting better. It's getting better per fight, and people aren't talking about it. He is looking really technical, really sharp, really fast on the feet nowadays with his kicks and his straight shots. Beneil Dariush, underrated boxing. He's a good boxer. And it's just so many unknowns about Benny. I can't really pick him. It's so many unknowns. We don't know if his chin really is gone. He doesn't know if his chin really is gone. He's came on record and said he doesn't know if he still has it, but he's going to find out. He's being real with himself. He's going to find out. Because Benny does have good wrestling. He might be the better wrestler here. Not better grappler, but he might be the better wrestler here. He does have good boxing. He can catch you with clean shots. But can he take a shot anymore? Can he? Because he did face jacked hamster, powerful, explosive Arman Sarukian. And then he fought the greatest finisher of all time, Charles Oliveira. So, he fought Charles before Benny, but you know what I mean. I don't know. He's taking a lot of time off. I don't know. Both guys are literally like the exact same age, but I'm picking Renato Moicano. I think it's going to be primarily on the feet. And a lot of people say if it's primarily on the feet, Benny outstrikes Renato Moicano, and I don't know. I like Renato Moicano's kickboxing more than I like Benny's boxing. Renato Moicano isn't the most durable guy either, which makes it interesting. But when the fists are flying and the fire's going, I don't know how durable he is anymore. And there's too many unknowns for me to pick him. I'm going to be picking Renato Moicano. I think he's going to out-kickbox Beneil Dariush and win a decision. Now we got Alejandro, the cannonball, Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. When in doubt, pick Pantoja. When in doubt, bet Pantoja. I'm going to be picking Alejandro Pantoja. Kai Kara France is a guy who throws decent volume and wants to make people pay. But I think his power is a bit overrated. I think it is a bit overrated, and I think there's a clear stylistic fight where he struggles in. And that's the Amir Albazi fight. I think he beat Amir Albazi clearly. But it was very competitive. The Brandon Moreno fight, that was a TKO, and he was low-key very, very competitive with Brandon Moreno. I want to say he was up on the scorecards. But whenever you're able to threaten Kai Kara France with the takedown, he's not as willing to just let the power shots go because he wants to defend that takedown. Kai Kara France does not want you to take him down. So he's going to worry about staying on his feet before he lets the power go. I think Alejandro can pressure Kai Kara France, make Kai Kara France be the one going back. Kind of out-volume him a little bit, throwing his beautiful body kick, switching stances, open stance body kick, bam, 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 causing scrambles, creating a clinch. I think Alejandro Pantoja will be able to take him down or take his back, like body lock against the fence. I think he is going to be able to force a pace on Kai Kara France that Kai Kara France won't be able to keep up with over the course of 5 rounds. And I keep asking myself, man, Alejandro, 35 years old. At what point does he look like the guy that's been through a lot of wars and he can't take it anymore? I can't just infer or assume that this is going to be the one. He's going to be bigger than Kai Kara France. He's going to be able to impose his will on Kai Kara France. I look at Alejandro Pantoja as the level of champion. I looked at Islam at 55. That I look at Merab at 35. Dominant champion. You really have to be one of them ones to take it from him. And no disrespect to Kai Kara France. I don't think he's the one to do it. Picking Alejandro Pantoja. I think Kai Kara France can survive a decision. I think Kai Kara France is going to be hesitant to let his hands go, man. Because Alejandro is going to be marauding him. I think he'll look to counter because Alejandro's hands are going to be low sometimes when he's coming forward. And I think he'll look to counter then. But eventually, I think Alejandro, with the wrestling and the pressure and the scrambling and the feint level changes and the blast body kicks, I think he's going to be able to overwhelm Kai Kara France, where Alejandro Pantoja wins a decision. If not, pull some crazy shit off and find a submission. And now, my heart's literally beating. And we're a week away from the fight. Oh, boy. I made a message to Charles Oliveira fans and a message to Ilia Topuria fans. Basically, me talking from both of their perspectives and giving their keys to victory and how I think they should go about fighting to win the fight and ultimately get their hand raised and become the champion. Now it's time for me to give my prediction. And I just have to be honest. My heart's going to be broken, and it would be the worst day of my MMA viewing experience life, that didn't even make sense. But I'm going to be picking Ilia Topuria by knockout. I think people make a huge mistake of just talking about all the things Ilia Topuria can do if he hits Charles, and not talking about Charles. And I think it's because of Charles' last fight against Michael Chandler. Then you compare it with Patty did to Michael Chandler. And then you look at the fact that Ilia just seems invincible, untouchable, and he can finish anybody, right? But nobody talks about how Charles Oliveira has dynamite in each limb. Nobody talks about if Charles Oliveira lands on somebody clean, he can hurt anybody in the division. Nobody talks about how before Ilia moved up, Charles Oliveira was the hardest hitting 155er in the division. Nobody talks about Charles Oliveira's offense. It's just about his defense and how if he gets clipped, which is true, the fight's over. Nobody talks about how Ilia overextends on his combinations and he drops that lead hand and he's there to be countered. Nobody dare tries to counter him because they don't want to be in the pocket swinging. Max Holloway did it a few times and Max Holloway landed clean. Charles Oliveira can find clean shots. But I think it's going to come down to Charles Oliveira's stance and his movement. I think Ilia's going to be able to shoot a takedown early in the first round. Sort of how he did against Max. He secured 2 takedowns against Max. I think Ilia Topuria is going to be, the straight, linear stance is going to be there. I think he's going to be able to take Charles down, just to put it on his mind. I think Charles Oliveira's movement, right? You got to have lateral movement with Ilia Topuria, and that's just something Charles doesn't utilize. He's straight forward. He's straight back. If you get too close, I'm going to grab a clinch. I think when Ilia unloads his 3-punch combination, and on the 3rd punch, when most guys are circling out, I think Charles Oliveira is going to be back to the fence like this. And I think that's a problem. And I think ultimately, repetitions of that, if Charles doesn't catch him clean, earn respect, create a crazy scramble, I think Ilia Topuria finds the finish. And I do think it's relatively early. I'm going to be shamefully picking Ilia Topuria by KO. But I'll be rooting my ass off for Charlie do Bronx. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to somebody. I know they enjoy just like you did. Let me know who you got. Let me know where I went completely wrong. Let me know the dumb shit I said, allegedly. You ain't got to go home. You got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.